At what point do these individuals no longer get to claim the moral high ground?
Well,
I
I'll
think
blame it. They never really had it. I mean, you look at, I make a big point in the book of, I quote a lot of scripture, and one I'm very fond of is by their fruits you will know them. And you look at the fruit of every single woke um, tactic, diversity, equity, inclusion. It has such a nice title, but what is that? You're called upon to look at somebody and judge them by the color of their skin or what their sexuality is, or all of these outward things that has nothing to do with the person's soul, their goodness, their spirit, their personality, anything that can really help. You're called to look at them in that way. And they're saying it's so that we're more diverse and equitable, but really it's just a way of dividing us.
school reform, and you even mention it here in the book, traditional public education system is something that you've taken exception with.
I think it's the most important policy issue, and people don't talk a lot about it. But you think about it, these children, most of them, I think like 90% of kids go to public schools where they're being indoctrinated from the age of like 5 to 18, their most formative years, with all of this woke nonsense. And they're going to come out, they're going to vote Democrat, they're going to be um, their mental health is going to be just totally messed up. We're already seeing that the mental health crisis among young people is just devastating. And of course, public schools are not completely to blame. But whenever you're teaching kids all this crazy nonsense, it's no wonder our society looks the way that it is. So I'm very passionate about education choice. I encourage parents, if they are in any way able to consider sending their child to a non-public school, and there's tons of options, in the school choice movement, as more parents become aware of it, is growing, absolutely to do that.
I'm looking at a bullet point here, how to avoid toxic empathy. What is toxic empathy?
Yeah, toxic empathy is whenever you want to do the nice thing for somebody. You just kind of stay quiet and go along, as I said before, kind of go along to get along because you don't want to ruffle any feathers. And I think that's a fault that I myself relate to because I hate confrontation. I don't like telling other people what to do. I'm obviously very opinionated, but for the most part, unless somebody's doing something really egregious, I'm kind of more um, I guess I'm afraid to um, to make too many waves. But I think conservatives and Christians in their kindness have for so long been doing this, that it has become toxic. We have been understanding and kind, and we've let the left run us over because they're not empathetic people. They're out for themselves. They're not thinking of eternity. They're in it for the here and now, for anything they can get in this world, and they're not thinking of other people, which is why they use people as pawns in their agenda. So it's long past time for people with traditional values to stand up and say, no, we're not going to be empathetic anymore. We're gonna call it as it is, and push back against this wokeness. And we have been seeing that to great effect. It's a shame that it took this long and things had to get this extreme and this bad for it to happen, but better late than never.